Episode 218. With two soft thuds, Han Li's body instinctively twisted to the side the moment he heard the sound. Then he felt a searing heat on his right shoulder, followed by a sharp, piercing pain. Han Li turned his head to look, his face darkening. A finger-sized hole had been punched through his right shoulder, blood pouring from the wound. He licked his dry upper lip, then stared in disbelief at the two magic tools before him. A hole of the same size had appeared in both the overlapping white scale shield and the turtle shell tool. They too had been pierced clean through by that unremarkable red light. As for the azure essence sword shield on his body, it had been utterly useless, shattered at the slightest touch, long since dissolved without a trace by that red light. Han Li's heart was sinking fast.
If I hadn't trained the smoke-shifting steps for so long, making my body move with my thoughts, that strike would have pierced my heart and killed me. In this cultivation world, one moment of carelessness and anyone could lose their life.
The more Han Li thought about it, the more unsettled he became. He knew the man had absorbed most of the blue-robed one's magic power, so his strength was bound to far exceed what it had been before. But to reach such an absurd level, that caught him completely off guard. What Han Li didn't know was that, as he panicked, the Moon Emperor below was even more stunned that this strike hadn't killed him.
Though that move I just used looked effortless, in truth, this blood spirit drill is something I slowly condense and compress my true essence dozens of times over during my usual cultivation, hiding it within my body to catch my enemies off guard. It's a one-time attack. The process of condensing it is not only agonizing, but each one takes an immense amount of time to complete. It's one of the killing moves in my demonic arts. In the past, whenever I unleashed this technique, it was unstoppable. No cultivator could ever escape it.
But now, it only grazed him. I've got one blood spirit drill left inside me. Should I try again?
Chen Chen and the others, having witnessed the attack and seen Han Li wounded, couldn't help but turn pale. Without even realizing it, Han Li had become the backbone of this group. His unexpected injury sent a ripple of panic through the others.
Move.
Han Li pulled his gaze from the wound, then furiously channeled his magic power into the wind spirit boat beneath him. In a flash, he rode the qi and shot off to one side. Song Meng, Zhong Weiniang, and the others exchanged glances, then followed closely behind Han Li as they all flew away. The Moon Monarch was taken aback at first, but then let out a cold laugh. He flickered into the air, ready to give chase, but then his vision blurred as over a dozen puppets of various forms surrounded him in a tight circle.
Get lost!
A flash of blood light whipped around the puppets in a tight circle, then let out a long, piercing shriek before streaking after Han Li and the others, vanishing from sight in an instant. A moment later, those motionless puppets suddenly shattered and fell from the sky, torn apart. Not a single one remained intact. Han Li, now directly above the formation he had set, sensed everything clearly through his split consciousness. Regretful as he was, he didn't hesitate for a moment. He signaled the others and plunged diagonally down into the bamboo grove below. Just as Han Li and the others plunged downward, the Moon Sovereign, only slightly delayed by the puppets, shot after them in pursuit. He had a clear view of Han Li slipping into the bamboo grove, and while this surprised him, it also filled him with delight. Hovering above the bamboo grove, seeing that Han Li and his group showed no sign of coming out, he let out a sinister chuckle. Then, with a wave of both hands, a small portion of the blood light split off from his body. With a sharp pff, the blood light flickered once and shot down toward the bamboo grove. The blood light grew as it traveled, swelling to an immense size in the blink of an eye, engulfing the entire bamboo grove from above and casting a sinister red glow over everything below. Watching the blood light silently seep into the wild bamboo grove, the Moon Emperor couldn't help but reveal a hint of smug satisfaction.
My protective demonic light only needs to trap this groove. Then I can activate another secret art and dissolve everything inside it without a trace. They walked into their own grave. Don't blame me for showing no mercy.
His fingers flew through a rapid series of gestures, forming the hand seal to activate the secret technique. Suddenly, a screen of light in cyan and white emerged from the bamboo grove below, effortlessly lifting the massive, slowly descending blood light.
This made Moon Sovereign startle, and her expression instantly turned cold.
So this group did have other plans when they fled here. They've actually set up an array on this spot. But it's nothing. An array thrown together in haste, how dangerous could it be? At worst, I'll just refine the whole lot of them, array and all. There's no way I'm letting a single one of them escape the Imperial City.
Having made up his mind, the Moon Emperor unceremoniously formed a hand seal and immediately activated the secret technique.
The blood-red light that had been held aloft suddenly blazed with dazzling brilliance, then sank downward, halting its own upward momentum. Then, the Moon Emperor lightly traced a line across her own body with a finger. A blood-red glow, no smaller than the one before, descended once more and merged into the sea of light below in an instant.
This blood-red light curtain had grown even more vivid, a full 3 shades deeper, and a faint, nauseating stench of blood now wafted from it, making anyone who caught its scent want to retch. Seeing this, the Moon Sovereign, who was channeling the incantation, wore a look of smug triumph.
His fingers flicked rapidly, sending a stream of multicolored hand seals shooting down into the area below.
The blood curtain began to churn violently as the hand seals struck it, surging outward in all directions until it swallowed the entire bamboo grove, its deep crimson light pressing down with crushing weight.
Yet the pale blue light within still held on, struggling desperately, as if it could be swallowed at any moment.
Seeing this, the Moon Emperor finally let out a sigh of relief.
For him, wiping out Han Li and the others was only a matter of time. These men were as good as caught. The real headache was figuring out how to clean up the mess afterward.
Looks like I can't stay on as Yui's emperor. I'll have to vanish, change my name, and start over somewhere else.
While the Yu Emperor weighed his options mid-air, the group of Sung Meng and his men in the bamboo grove were on tenterhooks. They had heard Han Li's voice transmission telling them to follow closely when retreating, and trusting in his strength, they all acted in unison without a second thought. But what they never expected was to end up in this nameless bamboo grove, trapped with no way out.
Though the bamboo grove appeared to be protected by a defensive array, the bloodlight now surrounded it on all sides, sealing it tight. The array itself was already on the verge of collapse, and at any moment it could break, spelling doom for everyone inside.
How could they not be utterly furious?
Junior brother Han, so this is the ace you kept up your sleeve.
Yes. Is there a problem?
Song Meng's face turned deathly pale in an instant, and Zhong Weiyang and Chen Chaochen's senior disciple, who had lost his dual cultivation partner, didn't look much better either.
Only Chen Chaochen, after studying Han Li's unreadable expression, let a flicker of thoughtful understanding pass through her eyes.
Han Li, if you have other methods, just say so. Don't keep us in the dark. I believe with your skills you couldn't have only set up this one contingency, could you?
Upon hearing this, the other 3 were taken aback. Then their spirits lifted as they turned their gazes to Han Li. It seemed they all agreed that given the meticulousness Han Li had shown in battle, there was no way he'd make such a foolish mistake. Han Li looked up, somewhat surprised, then lowered his head and gave them a faint smile.
Rest assured, since I brought you all here, I have a plan.
He reached into his storage pouch, gave it a tap, and produced a small azure-violet banner. Its surface was packed with dense symbols and incantations, marking it as no ordinary magic tool.
A formation flag?
Senior sister, you truly are well-traveled and knowledgeable.
This caught Song Meng and the others completely off guard, while also giving their confidence a slight boost.
Looks like this fellow apprentice Han really did have another trick up his sleeve.
Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Han Li placed the small flag between his palms and gave it a subtle twist. In an instant, the tiny formation flag swelled to several times its original size, and a faint azure violet light began to glow from its surface.
Han Li held the formation flag flat across his palms, muttered a few incantations under his breath, then called out loudly,
Now!
In an instant, the cyan-purple banner shot off with a sharp whistle, streaking toward one direction before vanishing without a trace. Next, Han Li retrieved 3 more identical formation flags from his storage pouch and, using the same technique, sent them flying off in different directions until they too vanished from sight. After all that, Han Li cast a single cold glance at the sky, and another object appeared in his hand, a cyan-yellow formation plate. This magic tool was dull and utterly unremarkable, yet Han Li held it with solemn ceremony, raising it high above his head before giving it a gentle shake. A thick yellow pillar of light shot up into the sky, striking straight at the azure-white barrier. And almost at the same time, pillars of gold, cyan, red, and blue light shot up from the other 4 directions, all converging into the barrier above. The once teetering azure-white light screen, upon absorbing the 5 colored pillars, immediately stabilized, and a faint sound of tidal waves echoed from within.
The sound swelled from a murmur to a roar, quickening its pace, growing louder and more frequent, until it was like an endless chain of thunderclaps crashing overhead, shaking the soul and leaving one utterly lost.
And the pale blue protective light screen, as the sound swelled, gradually shifted its color. Now it had transformed into a 5-colored radiance. No matter how the red light outside surged and battered against it, this light stood as immovable as a reef amidst raging waves.
Seeing this, Song Meng and the others finally let out the breath they had been holding. Everyone realized that the array Han Li had set up was far from ordinary. It seemed their survival was all but guaranteed.
Watching the formation's strange changes from above, and seeing that even after multiple attempts with his demonic arts he still couldn't break it, the Moon Emperor finally sensed something was wrong.
He frowned, then suddenly stomped his foot and reached out a hand. In an instant, all the blood light below reversed course like a river flowing backward, shrinking from large to small as it flew back onto his body.
Then it being transformed into a mass of blood light without hesitation and shot into the sky. Its speed was such that even Han Li would have to admit inferiority. Yet the man left fast and came back even faster.
For some reason, after flying a full circle through the sky, he ended up right back where he started. An expression of utter disbelief spread across his face.
He flew off again and again, 7 or 8 times in total, yet each time he only managed to travel a few dozen zhang before obediently tracing a wide arc in the sky and returning to his starting point.
By now, the Moon Emperor's face no longer showed shock or doubt. It was filled with sheer terror.
At the sight of this, Han Li let out a cold laugh, while Song Meng and the others stood there, utterly dumbfounded. Zhang Weiniang clenched her fists, her joy so overwhelming that she didn't even notice the long gash her nails had carved into her skin, blood streaming down.
As for Chen Xiaochen, her expression held more than just surprise. A far more complex undercurrent stirred beneath the surface. But Han Li had no time to explain the mysteries of the reversed 5 elements formation to these people. With a flick of his wrist, he released the white phosphorus shield and the turtle shell magic tool which orbited protectively before him.
Everyone with a talisman treasure, activate it now. We'll take him down together. Since we're trapped in this grand formation, there's no way he's escaping anytime soon.